are live with another episode of Mini Life on Happy St. Patrick's Day.
That was
that
the
pretty
worst
good?
Irish accent ever. Mike. What
that
was
was
that?
that was impromptu. That was impromptu. I did not get to practice that.
Oh my God, Mike! What was
wee
that?
A wee bit of St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, be laddie. To be
Happy
sure,
St.
to be sure,
Patrick's
to be
Day,
sure.
everyone.
There goes.
To be
there
sure, to
goes-
be sure.
There goes all of our
Mm.
Irish.
Yeah.
Influence.
So, sorry
Ian
about
is
that.
probably right now rolling his eyes and turning this off immediately.
That was more of maybe like the Lucky Charms guy, not necessarily Irish. You know,
I mean, he was American derived anyway.
exactly the Keebler elves or something.
Oh,
I don't
jeez.
know.
So, am I the only guy who's sitting here in green with a pint right now?
I
This
am
is
in
ridiculous.
green.
What's going on? I mean,
I'm in green.
That looks grey, Mike. That does not look green,
This is green.
mate.
It's worn, but it is green. It
I was
is
gonna
green.
Say,
It was.
sadly, I'm sat here in my room with a cup of tea in my hand, so it's all right.
Boys, let me down.
Sorry, bud,
I do
sorry.
have a pint cup, but you know, it is 8 a.m. here, so I'm not quite sure.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, Mike.
I mean, there's I do have some cold beers in there, but you
And
know,
all I'm hearing from you is excuses.
you know, my high school lacrosse coach told me excuses are like sphincters. We all have them, and they all stink.
Wise
I
words.
like that. I like that. I might
Shout
have
out
to
to
start
Coach
using that.
Braceland. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Well,
Start
welcome
using that.
Anthony to the show here. Anthony Johnson.
Hello, mate. All right.
Good. I appreciate you being on. We're going to have a fantastic episode here. Just jibber jabbering, a little chin wag amongst gentlemen on this fine Sunday of St. Patrick's Day. What is that? What I always look it up, but I never remember. Like, what is the origins? You guys even know? You guys are close to Ireland.
This is going to be really
Everyone-
bad now.
Everyone's
Everyone's on Google.
It was the origins of the first pint poured.
I mean, I'll go with that.
That's it.
Love it.
It's like everyone celebrates like Cinco de Mayo over here. You guys heard of that?
No.
Never.
It's a
Is that
Mexican
Mexican
holiday.
thing? Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, and I think it's again people are gonna be pissed. I think it's
All I can
Mexican
think about is
Independence
program
Day.
when it comes to that.
Mexican Independence Day, I believe.
Ah.
The 5th of May. And of
Ah.
course, you know, like I said, Americans like any holiday that involves drinking, so of course we celebrate that hard too. So.
Wow. It'd be rude not to.
You know, they are our neighbors. You know, unlike
Exactly.
Ireland.
Yeah, it's a bit of a long swim.
Oh. Well, I think I should just at least mention this, that I officially decided that I am going to become a professional, semi-professional, amateur dirt track racer after going to the Ventura Raceway last night.
Oh, we got Ricky Bobby over here.
I had been once before, and I don't know if you guys have that over there. I feel like Ollie kind of does something like that, maybe? No?
Yeah,
Does he do dirt? Is it oval or no?
Yes. I want to say yes. But I've never been to one of his races, and he's been trying to get me over there for, I don't know how many years now.
So it's
That's
oval, dirt track, clay. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Dwarf cars, stock cars, midgets, sprint cars. Dude, I'd been once before, like a couple of years ago, and I remember it being really cool. Those guys rip, dude. It was so sick. It's like, oh man, I need to get one of those so bad. My buddy, who I worked with at BMW, just got into it last year. So I was watching him race, and the shit was so cool. And they're small, so it's kind of like a mini. And the car's called like a dwarf, so it's like mini. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. So
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying, Mike.
I've decided.
Just put some knobblies on Goldtooth and just send it.
It
Do
was
it.
funny.
Just do it.
I did drive the mini to the track, and when I was leaving, like, people were also leaving. They were like, well, you should go race that. I was like, I know. I know I should. I wonder if I got like the dwarf car Sorry, Anthony. We're going on a tangent, buddy.
That's
I
fine,
wonder
don't
if I
worry
got the
about it. It's all good.
dwarf car like chassis, like the tube frame that they have it on, and
And just put a
that
shell
whole
over.
engine, and just put the like a fiberglass shell over it.
Do
I wonder if that is like legal. I'll look into
I
that.
mean, as long as it goes with their regulations and rules in terms of width and
That's
track
what I'm
width, then
saying. Yeah,
you should
like,
be fine.
I bet you could modify it and make
Yeah.
it work because it's pretty damn small. I think it would fit. I think it
Do
would
it.
fit.
Do
Dude.
it.
That would be so sick. I roll up for my first race in a freaking fiberglass mini, and people are like, "Who's this loser?" I would probably lose too.
Hey,
Although
it's
no, I
the
got a
fun.
little cocky. I think I sent you. I was like, I 100% would win this.
Yeah, but you
That's the
still didn't win
confidence in me.
against. You still didn't win against the 83 Accord off the line, Mike.
First of all, I was not notified that I was racing. Second of all, the car was not up to operating temperature. And third of all, I have nothing to prove against him.
The thing is, Mike, a chase is a race, and you
I did not
cannot
chase
argue
him.
with that. You
did not
You sent me
chase
the
him.
video. You were chasing.
I did not chase him. There was a red light. I'm not racing to a red light, you know?
Speaking
Listen,
of minis now,
Listen,
let's
we
get into
live,
Anthony's.
we live our life a quarter mile at a time, okay, family?
I'm out. I'm done. You
All right.
even said the word family. I'm done. I'm done.
There you go. Mic drop.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
Let's get into it.
Let's get into this. Anthony's here. Anthony, what's your Instagram here? It's
At AJ Johnson 1993.
I was gonna say AJ Johnson 1993. Go follow him. Check it out. He's got a new mini. He's got an old mini. Do you have two old minis? We'll get into it.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I've got 2 minis. Yeah.
See, there we go.
There'll be a story time behind that.
Story time. Anthony, give us the breakdown. How'd you get into minis? What drew you to the classic mini?
Well, I was kind of born into it, to be fair. So, like, my mum and dad had minis long before I was born. So, we had Dad's always had his show minis, and it kind of, we done stuff like, well, they did stuff as I was little, from like Land's End to John O'Groats.
That's a hell of a distance.
It is especially in a mini. I think they did it in I think the records in a week or something like
Wow.
that. A week.
What
Yeah.
what is this? What is this?
So
Land's End to
Land's
John
End
O'Groats.
is the most southern point of the UK to John O'Groats, which is the most northern point in the UK.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing something similar, but I'll go into that a bit later on. Yeah, so they did stuff like that. My dad was also the founder of the Somerset Mini Owners Club. I've lived here in Taunton, born and bred, and so he's done Taunton Mini Club. He done Somerset Mini Owners Club. I also heard that it's still running, but in private. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna, pursue that because I also run my own club as well now. So which is pretty cool.
Which club's that?
It's Absolute Mini UK.
Nice.
It was on the back end of another club that sadly the chairman had left. So due to personal circumstances, so me plus 2 other owners have kind of taken over. And so we thought, okay, just to stop the club getting a bad reputation from that, we kind of changed the name up a bit. So yeah. Anyway, so back to my story. So I've been in the mini since I was a little man, and yeah, we got to a point where I was of age to have a car. I didn't actually have my first mini till I finished university. Well, started university and then finished university on the second one. I just grew up and loving the minis, loving the car scene in general. So I'm a born and bred petrol head.
Good man.
Born and bred petrol head. So which is what I'm trying to teach my little one at the minute, to be fair, and she's not doing too bad with it.
She'll get there. She'll get there, man.
She's only 3, so these things take time.
That's it.
Yeah.
You got to start them young, right?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, well, to be fair, she's the only 3-year-old that I know that can pick up a polishing cloth and know exactly what to do with it.
Just make sure she doesn't drop it on the ground.
No, she did worse than that. She actually broke the custom-made cup holder that her granddad made for my car, and she fell on it and snapped it. So it was a wooden snap, and she snapped it, and it was wood. So I was like, yay! But the funny thing is, it's the same show that she broke it was also the same show that she almost got kicked out of, because she nearly walked up and touched the Liberty Walk Ferrari that they had there. It was a black Liberty Walk Ferrari. Honestly, I got as far as she ran up to it. She was about to go step over it's like a turquoisey bit of string to stop people going past it. She went to pick it up and lift it over her head. I said, "You stop there right now." And she stopped, as if somebody shot the sheriff type of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, and she came back over and she apologized, and I was like, "Oh, just don't do that again, please."
Oh yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, the owner was stood like 10 meters away from the actual car itself, so I was like, "Yeah, right, we're going to walk away now." But yeah,
wow.
Anyway, so yeah, mad, isn't it? Tell me about it. But she is learning in time. But yeah, honestly, it was one of the best, bless her. So
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is. So I bought my first Mini in 2012. It was more my granddad bought it, and I kind of paid him back for it. And it was a 1993 Mini Sprite, and I spent like weekends just trying to get it up and running. But it was just what I didn't know. The owner before me, it was a car down in Plymouth, so it was a seaside car. And you know what they say about seaside cars? They rust for a pastime.
Yep, they rot like hell, and they rot quicker than they actually go.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my uncle had to, because he's a welder. My uncle had to weld bits by bits, and the boot floor was the first thing to be done. I think we got as far as the door where the window sits in, and the door skins that had like a little hole in it.
Yeah.
So I had to stop. We stopped, and I was like, and then we took the engine out, only to find out that the bolts had rusted, as in like literally snapped in the block.
Nice.
On the thermostat housing. I was like, no. And then I went back to uni at this point to go do more studying. And then I come back, and then we sat outside having a barbecue one time, and then my dad was like, "Yeah, it's time. You need to chuck at least another 1,000 at it before we even touch the bodywork."
Yeah, get it mechanically sound first, and then concentrate on.
And he literally, she went back to university, and then the car had already gone to my uncle, who was going to make an RSP replica out of it, and I come back and finish university after 2 years to see a little blue Mini 1977 sat in my back garden. And that's it's my baby now. That is my baby now, other than my daughter, of course. But
the cars always come first, man. Surely.
Nah. To be fair, the car came before the child.
See, that's it. That's what we're saying.
But she's a 1977 Austin Mini 1000. She was Somerset registered as well. Uniform Yankee Delta was the Somerset registered, part of the Somerset registered. She's an R-Reg. The owner before got really bored of the colour, so he sanded it down and mixed some house emulsion paint and Hammerite paint together and rolled it all over the car.
Oh, jeez.
It was a roller paint job?
Yeah, it was a roller paint job. The only thing that... Sorry, go on.
I'm gonna call my old man out here, because he used to have, he still does. He had a Triumph Herald 1360 convertible, right?
Yeah.
And instead of doing the paint job properly and spending some time. And I'm sorry, Dad, if you're listening to this, but I've got to call you out on this. Bathroom emulsion with a roller. It looks, honest to God, it looks fantastic, if you're far away and you're squinting. But as soon as you get up close to it and you walk past it, my God, are you going to get splinters from that paint?
Oh,
I don't think I've ever seen a roller paint job until I saw some British guy doing it on YouTube.
It's got to be a British thing. I'm sure of it now.
Honestly, get on my Instagram, right? And I'm not even joking. Get a close up as possible of my car, and you will see how bad the paint job is. Well, it's not bad.
You could see red chipping through underneath.
Yeah, that's the original color. The original color. I think because I actually spent I think it's like a five or about a tenner just getting a certificate to say what color it actually was. But sadly, because I don't know what it was, but they said that they couldn't actually quite pinpoint what the car could be, because they said that blaze red is anything after 77. Or vermilion red.
I suppose they're quite close shades, aren't they? Really?
So they're quite. Yeah, they are. Yeah. So I looked at. I found a few on the Facebook, the Mini community in the UK one, only to find out that actually there's a few minis that are still that color. So I said, look, can you send me a paint code so that I can get mine done? And that's kind of led me on to getting it back to its original color eventually. I've only just recently said to myself this year that it's not happening. Well, that this year I've got it booked in for December, so I can get it on the road ready for January.
Yeah.
Because next year is going to be a big year, as you probably know already. Scrapyard Sean is the IMM.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah. So I completely forgot about that. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's first time in God knows how many years or something.
Yeah, well, we were supposed to have.
Yeah.
Well, no, it'd be 6 years because it's not the big birthday. This year's the big birthday, but they're doing it in, I think it's Germany.
So IMM British, IMM England, UK. What? That's that's coming up, and then Germany's this year, right?
Yeah, Germany's this year, I think it's right. Yeah. So, but next year, like I said, next year is going to be in the UK, and I plan on hopefully getting my car finished, because it's just one of those things. I've had the car since 2014, so, and there've been so many stories, which I'll probably get into detail in a bit, but I already want to get this car done, so it's like that. But so yeah, so I finished university in 2014. And I got the car. The first thing that actually went on it were the points and condenser. And I think it was the biggest pain when it come to it, because we were literally we took it as far as, so we've got a local supermarket just outside my house. We got as far as a supermarket and it broke down.
Oh no.
Oh jeez.
That was the first breakdown. So passed its MOT. So got the new points and condenser. Got it through its first MOT. Thanks. I'll shout out to my dad because he helped me out. He still helps me to this day, bless him. Yeah. So we got it through the MOT, and then the second thing to go on it was there was a hole in the radiator.
Yeah, been there, done that. That is, that's a fun job getting that bottom hose off, isn't it, in situation?
Literally just had that happen, and I had just fixed a couple other leaks, Anthony, and I don't know if this episode I think just came out. I think we talked about it, but I was revving up the engine, make sure there's no oil leaks, and I kept feeling kind of like a mist on my face, and I was like, "What?"
That's because you're valve bouncing it from cold, Mike.
No, I do give it the beans. I give it
That's the whole point. You're supposed to give it the beans all the time.
Yeah, that's it. What, 7,300 RPM, something like that, Mike, from cold? Yeah.
Oh dear.
I stick with 6,500 because I think that was the manufactured specifications. But anyways,
the safe zone.
There was a little pinhole leak in the middle of the radiator not like big enough to like leak, but under
Yeah.
like load or whatever, it like would squirt out and it would hit the fan, and the fan was like like misting it in
Oh,
my
no.
face.
You got a little
Yeah.
water pistol as you drive along.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I was like, oh, this kind of feels nice, you know? Maybe it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, misting in the air actually. And then I was like, oh yeah, great. I'm just like inhaling freaking coolant.
Yeah,
in my
that's it.
face.
Oh, bless you. Oh, mate, honestly, it was a nightmare when I found out the radiator went, because it was a case of that I had to take like 5 liters of water with me to work, so then my car would keep going. But but this is the biggest. This was the point where I was like, right, I'm really skint for cash, because I just finished a really good job, and I was going on to hopefully what I thought was going to be a better job, but it wasn't, because I got like so many shifts a week, and I was like, oh, really? Um, and so what happened after that was, I think it was one night, it was really cold. I drove the car. Oh, I got filled up with water whilst it was still leaking. I filled up the water, and I went to drive home. Got as far as the traffic lights just outside my home, and there was white smoke coming out of my exhaust.
Nice.
I was
That's
thinking,
always a fun thing.
oh, air gasket's bloody gone in it. I was like, oh no. So, the engine that I had before I put the new one in, I'll explain a bit later. I'd blown the air gasket like 4 or 5 times on the first engine.
That's, to be fair, that's what I've done on my Mini.
Yeah.
What was
Uh,
the
yeah,
head
fair
warp?
enough.
But
Yeah, the first time it was the head work. I was told by the owner before, because he looked after it, because the car was locked up from 1993 onwards to when I picked when my granddad and my dad and my uncle picked up the car for me, because it's literally just up the road here. The car
so it's been
was.
sitting for quite a long time then,
So it
really.
was, yeah, 1993. But the funny thing is, he got new part sparks and new points in it. It started up first time, and I was like,
They're
oh, well, that's
reliable,
amazing.
that's why.
Yeah,
A series, baby, let's go.
A series,
Series
of
for
the way.
life.
A series for life, indeed. I tell you what, the amount of people that have said, "Oh, stick a Honda engine in it, stick a Honda engine." I'm like, no, not to a Mark III. It's got too much. There's too much going for a Mark III. Mark 4, Mark 5, maybe, but no,
Never.
never Mark
Nah.
1, 2, or 3.
I couldn't do it.
No, that's
As,
it.
as much
No.
as I want the reliability of a Honda Lump, I could not do it.
No, that's it. Neither could I. Kind of a purist thing as well, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, I get that. It's
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I've got friends who've got minis, and they don't go to show. We don't go to mini shows with them. They go to the modified car shows, which I do attend as well. And it's
Yeah.
just like, what was it? Somebody put a comment. I can't remember who put the comment up the other day. Apparently, you can't say. Apparently, because the guy put like really expensive wheels on this car, and he put hydros on it, and he said, "Oh, you think John Brown's and some high-lows are a build?" It's like, no, of course that's a bloody build. It's your own perception of a build. That's the difference, you know.
That's it.
I-
And
I don't-
not everyone wants to do the whole, as wild builds and stuff. Some people just like a subtle, set of wheels and a pair of high-lows.
People
Yeah,
get
that's
so
it, yeah.
bent out of shape out of that.
Oh,
Like,
they really do.
Is mine a build? I don't know. Like, I built it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah,
had
exactly.
to do some welding. I redid the engine. Like, But is it like
Built,
a
not
build? It's not like a SEMA build. I'm not like.
Well,
Ah,
I'm
see
not
the
like-
builds.
have you
You
seen
know
the
what I mean?
quality
Like,
of some of those SEMA builds? Like, look at those weld lines. You can tell it's just pigeon shit.
Well, but I'm
Hey,
saying like it's not like I like made the Project Bernie, like that's a freaking build, but
That is a full-on build.
Project Bruno.
but that's
as
like
well,
that's
Project
a
Bruno.
huge, yeah, that's a huge build. But like I don't know, people get so bent out of shape about it. Like who cares?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. There's
Although
over 6
it-
million minis in the world, 12 million, however many millions of minis in the world,
Anyway, so yeah, the head gasket went, and then that had to be sorted ASAP during the winter times. And I bear in mind, I really didn't want to get outside in the cold.
Yeah.
But it had to be done because it was my only car. So that happened. I got the valve stem clearances done after Christmas. in like January, February time when I actually had the time, only to find out that I had a new job, but it was in Clacton on Sea. So I was
Clacton?
like, Clacton
That's
on
the other
Sea,
side
yeah.
of the country.
I know. I was going to attempt to drive a Mini at 50 mile an hour from Taunton to Clacton on Sea, but
How far is that drive though?
that would
4
be
hours
about
in
4
a
or 5
modern?
hours.
Oh, okay.
So
And
in
a
a
modern
classic
Mini
Mini, you're
too.
talking 6, maybe 7 hours.
You Brits
Yeah.
have like a weird mindset
Don't say-
about things being far, you know.
Yeah, that's
perception.
it, yeah.
Your
To be-
perception is like, oh,
Like-
it's like that's so far, and it's like 20 minutes down the road.
Why?
until you
What's it?
until
People
you
say
experience the
London's too
M25, Mike. Honestly, until you experience the M25, then tell us about a long
Have
journey.
you
Yeah,
heard
that's
of
it,
a,
yeah.
Promise you.
Have you heard of a little freeway called the 405?
Is that the
No.
the main drag through LA?
Yeah.
Yeah,
bad,
yeah.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know about that.
Have you seen?
Although I will give it to you guys. You guys live on an island. I lived on an island before in Hawaii. Like, you know, when shit
Hawaii, what
hits the
place.
fan, shit hits the fan. There's only so many places to go. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
Well, I think we need to all take a leaf out of the Italian job and start finding, stairs and little
Tunnels
subway
and-
systems and
Tunnels,
subway
yeah,
systems that
because-
aren't there. Yeah.
of which most of it was done in the UK anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. It was Coventry, wasn't it, or something like that for
Coventry
those
was done.
tunnels? Yeah.
Coventry was the tunnels. That's where the tunnels were
The
done.
Self-Preservation Society. Actually, people did say, Sean, after our last episode, that they did want to hear more singing. So there
They
you go, people.
did. They did. I don't
the
know
people
how I feel
came
about
through. It's the Self-Preservation Society. Dun, 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 dun.
it. Got to get a move on. Moving. Ba-da-da-ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba.
God, I love it. I love it. We need to bring in that to the Patty Probe. A Patty Probe question of like, give us your best like. I forget what that song's called though. What's the actual name of it? It's like gotta get a bloody.
Self-Preservation
Get a bloody
Society,
move
it's
on, I
called
think, or something.
Get a bloody move
Yes.
on. Yeah.
Bloody move on. Yeah, we got.
Saying
Give us your
that,
breath. What?
Quincy Jones this week just turned, I think, 91 years old. So
Ooh.
happy birthday to Quincy Jones for
Wow.
It's crazy to
Wow.
think of how old the actual cast are these days.
Well, you look at
Wow.
Michael
I only
Caine.
found out the other day. Sir Michael Caine's like over 90. It's like
Yeah.
bloody hell. But
What a
I-
career he's
I-
made from the Italian job.
Yeah, I'm reading his novel at the minute. Though it's basically called "Blowing the Bloody Doors Off."
Oh, fantastic. I'll have
never
to have
heard
a read
of
of
it.
that.
Honestly, it is worth a read. It's definitely worth a read. It
That's a good one. I'll have to pick
saying
that up.
about his. Yeah, it's definitely. It's all about like his life. So where he had the ups and downs, and like
Mm.
Sean Connery and
Sean
Michael
Connery.
Caine. Yeah, were the only male actors, UK male actors of their time. So to begin their acting careers, UK based. I know.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm laughing at Mike's impression
For
there.
Sean Connery. Was that
Sean
good?
Connery.
Sean
hey.
Connery.
Don't point those
What?
dirty fingers at me.
Oh, stop throwing those arrows at me.
Yeah, stop throwing those arrows at me. Yeah. Hey, you're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Oh
Oh,
man.
God.
But yeah, anyway, so where was we?
So what's the state of your Mini right now? Is it on the road, off the road, or you're just kind of like working on it
I've
as
had,
you're going? Is the engine in
right.
or what?
Right, so there's more to this. So I've had like
There's
I said,
always more.
there's always more. There will always be more. So the plan it is off the road sadly, because well, I made a mistake and a garage made a mistake. So I went to go and get 2 rear tyres changed for a holiday. Me and my daughter were going on. It was going to be our first holiday, just me and her, and my little classic Mini, all the way down to Cornwall for the week. And it was a Friday, and we drove up to drove to the workshop. They told me, bear in mind that most garage places are actually supposed to do the driving for you into their workshop. They told me to drive onto the workshop floor, and bear in mind that it's a concrete ramp about yay steep, and as soon as the front wheels hit the workshop floor, the exhaust caught on the ramp and ripped the exhaust clean off the chassis.
Oh, gee. Was it all off the hangers and off the manifold,
All
or
off
was
the
it still on the manifold?
hangers. The rear subframe was twisted.
Oh, jeez.
Honestly, there's actually a picture of it on my Instagram.
How fast did you drive into there then?
I think it was. I don't know.
Had to give it
50 miles an hour, just.
Well, I
No,
had
it
to give
wasn't
it the
50.
beans to get up that ramp.
Yeah, it was. It did have to give it the beans, but it was more of a case of I don't know how fast I was going because at the time the speedo cable also didn't work.
You don't need one of them. You
No,
don't
I
need one
do.
of them.
I do.
No.
Honestly.
No,
Oh,
no,
mate.
mate. The only gauge you need is water temp, and that is all you need. Don't worry about the fuel. Just put a bit of wooden
What
stick in the fuel tank. Don't
What
even
about
worry about it.
oil pressure?
I
You
know,
don't
but
need
was-
that.
no,
Ah.
The fuel.
Hey, look,
the
as
fuel
long as it's
sender-
leaking out the sump a little bit, you're fine.
No, my fuel sender works. The temp sensor works. The oil pressure gauge works. It's just the speedo, and that's one of my things. It's just I want that speedo working all the time. But anyway, so yeah, it was a case of the guys were going to charge me originally £150 for 2 tyres. I managed to get it for £100.
What size
Because,
wheels were they? Were they 12s?
10s.
10s? They're
10 by
charging you-
6Js. Vulcan
Okay.
tyres. So top quality tyres. Well, mid-range actually. To be fair, I find them to be mid-range. That's my
He's
that's
called
my
himself
preference.
out on the pod.
Good catch.
Mid-range.
Good catch. Somebody would have been sliding in like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no. Hey, they lasted me. To be fair, those Vulcan tyres that were on there originally, they've lasted me a good. They lasted me a good. So 2015 when I had them done. So they lasted me a good, like, nearly 10 years.
Oh wow.
That's
But
not
then
too
again-
bad.
Yeah, but then again, it's like a case of. I think I've only ever dailied my Mini 3 or 4 times now because one due to either a daily car breaking down or the fact is that I didn't have a daily at all. So like I've had. So my first actual daily was a Volkswagen Polo GTI.
Hmm.
And that thing shifted. It really did. But
See, Mike Daly's his Mini. Like, the amount of videos Mike keeps sending me on a daily basis of, oh, I'm just popping to a meeting and he's trundling along in his little Mini. I'm just like, bruh, I wish I could just use mine as a daily. Like, it would just
Honestly,
be
if I
so
could-
much fun.
honestly, like driving a Mini daily is fun. It literally is. As soon as you get out there, you start the car up. Honestly, because mine's on choke, so pulling the choke out. Yes, it annoys the neighbours, but honestly, I don't give a fuck. Excuse my language. I know there's children watching or listening, but honestly, I couldn't care about the noise. It's just
I mean, it never done us any harm when we were growing up as kids.
exactly, yeah, that's it. Amen to
There's
that.
louder cars in my neighborhood than mine, so
Yeah, I got a Subaru Impreza over across the road that makes that noise. Shout out to the neighbours. Oi, oi.
yeah. Where I live in Oxnard, there's a big thing for like the new Camaro or not Camaros, Chargers and Challengers and shit.
Was that the cold starts?
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Oh, I
dude!
love
And
them.
they have
Love
the
the
worst
sound.
exhaust, and it's like the V6 model too. So it's like
Oh, is it?
really
So they're the
not-
baby ones. Oh,
yeah, so
dear,
they're,
baby
yeah,
ones.
'cause they're cheapskates, and it's like it's so bad.
I mean,
must
why buy a
admit-
V6 when you're out of the States? You're like, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
There's a
Yeah,
couple
I
like
might-
motorcycles that sound pretty badass, but it's like it's loud.
I must admit, listening to because one of our neighbours have actually got a friend that comes down quite frequent. And he's got an Audi RSQ7, and it's a massive like V8 engine in underneath the bonnet. Honestly, hearing the roar on that thing's amazing.
There's this guy
So,
across the way.
you know.
Like it's kind of far. It's like maybe a couple blocks down in like the neighborhood across from me, and he's got
Hmm.
like this giant Harley that's
Oh, yeah.
loud AF, and it's one of those big ones that have like the speakers and the cowling in the front, and he just
Oh,
rips music like funny music, not funny, but
Nice.
like 90s
corny.
classic, like 90s
making my way downtown.
no,
Oh,
not
yeah.
no, not like, but yeah, kind of
I
of
would
like
so do that.
like Mariah Carey, and like it's like a bunch of shit, and it's like
Fair enough.
it's just good, but it's so loud. And I was like, where is this guy? And finally I was walking one day, and I was like, holy shit, that guy's really far away, and it sounds like he's like right next door. But I like it because he like jams the funniest music, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
You'd have to.
But
Yeah, I would
honestly,
too.
honestly, if Sean, if you could drive yours daily, honestly, get on it. Get on it. It's worth it.
Well, the
It's so
thing
worth
is, if the car was running, if it was running, I probably would, because work now for me is like literally 2 minutes up the road, and it's all country lanes.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I would
even better,
rip
I'd
those
love that.
lanes. Like I sent
Oh.
Mike a video earlier of the lanes that I was driving to get back to do the podcast on, and those are those are the lanes that I actually take to get to work. So
Nice.
I'd love to rip it just for even a week or two, just
A week,
ripping that Mini
nice.
up there.
Yeah, honestly, it was one of the best things. I used to use it as Domino's car as well.
What, the Mini?
Yeah, I used to use the Mini as a Domino's delivery driver. Just deliver
That's
pizzas in the Mini.
hysterical.
Did you have
Honestly.
the little the Domino's sort of
Oh,
signage
no,
on
no,
the top?
no, that's a sin, man. That's a sin. What are you
No,
doing?
I would have rocked that.
That would have been hilarious, man. That would have been my
would've
new
been-
Instagram.
Yeah, it's like the Pizza Planet Toyota truck, isn't it? I would have done
Yeah.
exactly
Oh, mate.
that on the Mini.
Yeah, that'd be
I
that.
kind of want to do that now.
You
Yeah,
right?
same now. Yeah. Might have to do that when the car's red again.
Yeah,
Dang.
honestly,
do
I'm just gonna
it.
find one on eBay and just rock it.
Mike, what about you went stock car racing the other night. You know they've got like the little they got the numbers on the roof, haven't they? With like the
Oh, the
A-frame
pizza
sort of-
thing on the top. Oh, mate.
Do it,
That'd
man.
be
Do it on
awesome, bro.
Goldtooth. 100%.
Definitely. Definitely worth it. That'd be
I'm gonna find
that'd
one.
be a big laugh. But yeah, it was. To be honest with you, it's actually surprising because most of the other drivers had like Citroen C1s, Toyota Aigos. So it's me rocking up on a Mini like, yeah, my car's the quickest car on the team. What are you talking about? I was doing,
Well,
I was doing
up until
pizza
30 miles
deliveries in
an hour,
like
yeah.
5-10 minutes.
That's funny.
I think.
Hopefully
I
they
think
didn't
the
order
worst
a
part
large. It
about-
wouldn't have fit.
Yeah, that's it. I think the worst part about doing it was the smell afterwards because I currently got a cloth interior, which will be going back to its original spec eventually, and it just the reek of pizza afterwards. It's just like it's so off-putting, but. But then again, it's the perks of the job because you just get a free pizza at the end of it. You know what I mean?
I mean, life's good when you've got a pizza in a Mini.
Yeah, exactly. Amen to that
I'm
one.
not-
Just sat outside, deck chair, looking at your Mini. I've done that a
Yeah.
few times. Done that a few
Mike-
times. I can
Mike does it all the time. Mike sends me pictures all the time. He goes to his little brewery that he goes to, and he's sitting there with a pint with the Mini in the background. And I'm just like, Mike, you can't do this to me. It's tipping down with rain here. It's grey skies. I haven't got the Mini on the road. I'm sitting at home, and you're sending me pictures of California sunshine with a pint and your Mini. I'm just like, come on,
Yeah,
it's not
mate,
fair.
I can rate that.
100%.
Oh, mate, honestly, it's one of those things. If you're not looking back at your car after you walk away from it, you've obviously bought the wrong car.
100%.
Yeah, I was the same when I had my MG ZTT. That had to go sadly because it rusted for a pastime. I think I worked at Burger King at this point, and I did a TikTok of it saying, if you don't look back at your car, you obviously bought the wrong car. And I was like, I wish I did that with a Mini, but the Mini wasn't on the road. So I was like, yeah, no, not doing it. No, didn't do it. But I did it with the MG instead. So I was like, all right, okay, no worries. But yeah, so yeah, good memories so far.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
A whole resto. I was just gonna sort the subframe out and then put the rear valance back together, but I was just like, you know what, I'm saving now, and I've actually done pretty well in comparison to how I was like many years ago. Oh, okay,
So
fair enough.
So
So,
how
yeah,
much do you have left after you hit the big old curb or ramp or whatever it was?
Yeah, concrete ramp. But yeah, I'm basically doing a full resto.
Dang. So how far along are you on it? I know that
Haven't
you
even
mentioned the
started.
paint and stuff. Oh, well, you better
I-
get your ass moving. You don't have that much longer before next year.
Yeah, especially before the IMM.
Yeah, tell me about it. Well, the IMM's not till August, but my kind of goal was to hopefully get the car done by the end of January, because then that way I can take it for mini fair as like a debut thing.
God,
There you
that's a
go.
drive up from Taunton up to Bingley Hall. That is one
Not for
hell
me.
of a drive.
Not for me, my friend. Not for me, my friend. It's
No?
cool.
About
It's
about
cool.
30 minutes. A little 15-minute
honestly-
jaunt.
Honestly, no. It's. I think it's like. I think it was what? It's an hour. It's an hour and 15 minutes to Castle Combe from here. So that's a race circuit here in the UK. And I think it's like nearly probably like 2 hours in total,
That's not bad.
or two,
It's not
3
bad.
hours.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but yeah, I think my biggest mistake was this year actually, because I drove up after on the back end of an overnight, and it's quite scary because obviously I'm trying to keep myself awake. But yeah, granted, I stopped to rest and actually have a little sleep in the services, as you have to when you're tired. Um, going up there, coming back, it's no issue for me. I did have to go back. Sadly, I did have like when I got back from Bingley Hall to Taunton, I had like 45 minutes sleep, and then I had to do a full 12-hour shift.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So I work in a factory. You see, I work in a perfume and aerosols factory, which we supply. We supply. I don't know if Mike's familiar with this. It's called Harry's shaving foam. We
Called what?
supply Harry's shaving foam.
Oh, Harry.
Harry's.
There is like a Harry's shaving thing, but I don't know if it's the same one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we supply Canadian and USA products.
Oh,
So we
okay, yeah.
We
so...
make them here. We make them at our factory, and then it gets shipped to you guys in Canada and the United States. I was going to mention this in the podcast. I was like, oh yeah, Mike's super. Mike's
That's
See,
Canadian.
interesting.
The redcoats are taking over again, Mike.
There we go. See,
Get it. Nah.
One bottle at a
nah.
time.
one bottle at
Nah.
a time, one can at a time, one hair gel at a
That's
time.
it. That's it.
We also-
Nah,
we also-
nah.
We also
So-
stock Harry's taming cream as well for beards and stuff.
Mm,
So that'd be
Ooh.
ideal for you.
there we
Taming
go.
the cream
There
for
we
the
go.
beards.
So
Well,
in
yeah.
terms, Anthony, of restoring your car, is it going back to completely OEM, or are you doing a few little tweaks here and there? I know you keep mentioning the 10x6 Star Mags and stuff, but
No,
is
no, I was going to go for that, but I'm torn between these ones or I found a nice pair which would go with a car community in general. Would be the OS4 turbo wheels,
okay,
And- but in gold.
yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah,
And oh
love me
mate,
some
these things
gold.
look. I literally looked at them and I was like, I love these. But somebody said if I'm going to get them, I'd have to get them ceramic coated first because
Yeah.
they're known for corrosion. So I was like, right, okay, no worries. That's not going to put me off. I've already got a few bits that I'm going to be putting on. So like I've got the Mark 1 bumpers, which are the corner bars and overriders,
Very nice.
Mhm.
and I just love that look in general.
See,
Yeah.
overriders and like the corner bars and stuff always reminds me of like the cow look Beetles.
Yeah,
And it's such a hard look on a Mini because I was debating about doing it on the Outlaw before it became the Outlaw. But it's such a
that.
cool look.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I've had them on before on what paint job is on the car at the minute. So the blue. And
Mm.
it looks good, but it just doesn't look the same type of thing. Because I'm all about like polishing. I love doing that stuff, and it was so hard. It's so hard to even try and get a shine on the paintwork that it is, because it is house emulsion paint and Hammerite paint.
Yeah, I know, it's so bad, honestly.
Just a bit of wet
But-
and dry just to polish it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, something like that. Or,
That's hilarious.
I was tempted. I was tempted to go buy some Nitromorse and just go straight all over. I was like, no, 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 no. I've seen the after effects of Nitromorse on bodywork,
Well,
so I was like,
you could always just do an Ollie Soul and just sand it and just lacquer the bright metal as it is.
stop giving me ideas. It's not helping. But no, but yeah, honestly, it'll be back to its original colour. I'm cross debating if I'm going to keep the roof rack on there or not.
I dig it. I dig the roof rack, man.
Yeah, I like it, but the problem is because of how old it is, and if you ever get a chance to see it, well, we probably won't because it won't be back on the road till next year. But looking in where they sit on the roof, because the suction cups don't they sit the roof rack in, but it shows like clearance, so there's that's opportunity for like water to get into it.
I guess it's just one of those things that you have to take
So-
off when you know the bad weather's coming and just run it for
Yeah.
the summer.
Yeah, that's one of those things, isn't it? So, but having the roof rack's pretty cool, not gonna lie. But I was debating on if I'm gonna keep it on there or not. More than likely keep it on there. I am, because I've got the new exhaust to go on there already. I had that before the accident happened. I got a full stainless steel straight through pipe. I'm not having a silencer. I'm literally just having manifold back box.
Nice.
Nothing
Is that are you going RC40 or is that?
Is it an inch and a half or is it 3 inches? I think it's a 3 inch pipe.
Oh,
Damn.
okay. With like the outrolled.
So this
sort of
thing's gonna
tip and
be
stuff.
loud.
Mm.
And
Yeah, I mean, minis aren't quiet at the best of times, even with a little pea shooter exhaust. You know. That's...
yeah, exactly. Yeah, little Pico one. Yeah.
That's
The thing
it.
is, I don't want to outdo anyone. It's just one of those noises that I like listening to, especially when you start up in the mornings.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just like
it.
just to amplify it. That was one of those things that I wanted done, so I did that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the minute, and then I'm not having the Help for Heroes sign on the side of it anymore. I'm only going to have that if, well, because it's the door skins that need replacing as well.
Mm.
So door skins, A panel, front panels, the flitch panel, which is the main structure of the car, but it's the inner bulkhead.
Yep.
The kick plate on the rear, they all need replacing. The floor panels eventually they'll need replacing.
We'll
But
just buy a new shell.
you know, it's-
Yeah,
better
just spend
said than
12
done, to
grand
be
on a
fair,
heritage show. Why not, mate? Let's do it.
well, I've already been quoted by this garage at 5.5. But as soon as they get dug into it, I reckon it'll be about £8,000 before the
Is
car's
that-
done.
That just for the welding and the panels.
That's panels, welding, and paint,
Wow.
including the Raptor spray paint for underneath. Because
That's
the
not
I mean,
bad
that's
at
not
all.
a bad price.
yeah,
That's not bad. I don't
Yeah,
think so.
and I
I
found
feel like
somebody
people
to-
put 8 for just damn paint.
Yeah, easily.
and I found someone in Wales that can have it soda blasted, but at about £800, which
Yeah,
is
it's
quite
always.
cheap. So
If you're able to do it, it's always worth doing because at least then you know what you're left working with.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, it will happen. It's just getting through every month, really. I hate the idea of living paycheck to paycheck, but at the minute that's how it is.
I mean,
Sadly.
unfortunately, it's the joys of being a petrol head. It is.
Yeah.
It is at times. You know, you've got to weigh up the time and the money aspects, which is
Oh, indeed,
why,
definitely.
as much as you can do, in theory, it may take longer, but in times it can be a little bit of a better option.
Yeah, that's it. I agree with that statement. Yeah. It's
Mhm.
hard. It's hard. But other than that, but the car has seen loads of shows. Last year, I've done stuff from Riv Run, which is down in Cornwall. It's one of my favourites by far. We used to do when it was in Newquay.
Yep.
So we used to do a lads' weekend in Newquay, and we drove my Mini down. Lads' weekend, absolutely trolley. We dressed as villains from our favourite villain programs and stuff like that,
I did 1 year. I was dressed as Two-Face, so I had one face covered in red and one like just normal. And I
Nice.
didn't look half bad, to be fair. Not gonna lie.
Spruced yourself up.
Yeah, I did. Well, well, they always say, what was it? I didn't know this. I didn't notice this. They say dress your car as if you're gonna. No, dress yourself like your car. So if your car's nice and tidy, dress yourself nice and tidy. If your car's messed up and you just can't be bothered, just put whatever you want on.
Just rock up.
Just rock up, yeah.
That's funny.
I noticed the other day, right? So I bought a modern Mini now as well because it's actually my dad's. Because he went from classics to modern. He was just going to use it as a runabout. I noticed the other day I was wearing a half suit, so I didn't have the jacket, but I had a white shirt and some navy blue trousers. And I went to go and get my car. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm matching my car." I was like, "Get on, I'll have some of that."
To be fair, and I am really gonna shoot myself in the foot here. I am a sucker for matching my fashion sense to the
Yeah.
Mini when I'm driving the Mini. I will wear the leather jackets. I will wear the real hipster boots, that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
make that outlaw look. And it's
Mhm.
sad, but we all do it.
Yeah.
We can't admit it. That you look at the Ferrari guys, and I'm really going to call out the Ferrari guys here. Half of you guys don't even own Ferraris, and you're still wearing the Ferrari jackets and the Ferrari shoes and the hats and stuff, man. Like, come on, you're not Michael Schumacher.
I love it. I love it. Well,
Okay,
Anthony,
sorry.
are you ready for a little Patty probe?
Paddy Probe, what's that? That's that. Oh yeah, go on.
Oh, you son
So-
of a
Yeah,
bee.
so
Apparently you
we-
haven't listened to every episode here.
If,
No, I
if
haven't.
we've
No,
got
I'm
some,
so far behind with this.
if we've got some new listeners and you don't know what the Paddy Probe is, you are in for a treat. It's a series of questions where it could be quick fire, it could be an answer which is then explained further depth.
Yeah.
Mike, I think we've got some new questions, haven't we?
We've got a
on
few new
this?
questions. I think
Yeah.
we'll start. I'm not starting with a new one, but I'm starting with one that I don't necessarily always do. But what is
Ooh.
your least favorite Mini variant?
Oh, what? Be that classic or modern? Sorry.
Classic.
Classic. Come on.
sugar.
we don't talk about
what
that
do I-
modern.
Hey, be careful, be careful. It's only because I run a club that has both new and old minis, so I don't have a preference on either, essentially. What's my
Shane,
least?
you're losing us followers right now.
So my least favorite mini variant. I can't say that I've got one, unfortunately, Mike, because like like I said, growing up through the years, it's a case of it's one of those. It's a case of when you turn up to a show, you don't really focus on a lot of what other people have built, but
Mhm.
there are like those. It just shows those subtle builds that just pop. Like
Yeah.
I did London to Brighton this year. Last year. Obviously, we're in 2024 now. Last year being the last one. And there was just so many that were just popping up there and there, and I was like, honestly, that looks smart. That looks cool if you did this, that, and the other. That's because that's what I would do if I had it. So yeah, I honestly, Mike, I don't have a least favorite variant of a mini.
I respect that answer. I respect that answer. It's better than some people saying Moke.
Oh.
Anyways.
See, Moke beach car. See, I instantly think beach car.
Exactly.
Right?
When you
And
say-
we live on an island, regardless of the weather, it's still a beach car.
Exactly. It's a beach car, exactly. And or you just do the next best thing if you can do it. That is, I don't know if you can do it. You stick a Vitara chassis underneath a Moke, yeah. Put the big chunky tires on it. You've got a proper beach car then.
That's it. That's it.
Sorted.
Myers Manx, watch out.
Yeah.
All right, here's one
So,
of
yeah,
our
go
new
for it.
ones that we tested out last week, and I quite liked it. So,
Go on.
what would be your minis or your Blah, 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 blah. It's a
Blah,
new
blah, blah, blah.
question, guys. It's a new question. Sorry about that.
Folding under
What would
pressure,
be
Mike.
your dream mini road trip?
Oh, that's a good question. I like that one. Mine would probably be, because it's one of those things that I'm going to try and do next year if I can afford to do it, is once the car's done. I want to do the NC 500.
Yes.
I want to see what that's like. But I would also like to attempt to do the Land's End to John O'Groats like my parents did when they had minis when they were younger. So
That would be cool.
It
Do
would
you
be,
know
wouldn't
the do you know what the distance is for that? I know it's a fair few thousand miles,
I
but
think it's, I don't know actually know, but to do the whole trip on normal roads, because they did it on back roads and all the beach towns and stuff like that. So
wow.
they did it basically like that, up and down and back round again. So they did it that way. So that's how I'm going to do it. But if you're actually going from Land's End to John O'Groats straight up through motorways and A roads and stuff, I think it's like half a day's driving. Or no, it's actually a full day's driving. Yeah, so you're doing 12 hours driving, or 50. I think it's 12 to 15 hours of driving,
It's a long trip in a
Especially
mini.
especially in a mini. Yeah.
especially in an old mini. So you've got to go through God knows how much fuel stops. And E5 fuel these days are rocketing, absolutely mad.
I like that. Be fun for sure.
Yeah, it would be definitely.
And then the last but not least, what happened? Everyone's favorite. If you could have a drink, coffee, beer, tea with one mini celeb, dead or alive, who would it be?
Mini celeb, what, people that had minis or just celebrities in general?
Well, just somebody like somebody famous for mini, or somebody that was in the mini community,
Oh.
somebody that had a mini. It could be a celebrity. It could just be somebody.
I'd love to sit down if he was alive today. I'd love to sit down with because I've already had photographs with him. I have photographs with Paddy Hopkirk.
Good answer.
Can't go
Like,
wrong with that
on-
one.
My granddad's actually friends with Mike Cooper.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, but I only found this out when we went to Bewley Mini Cooper Day one time. So, but yeah, so it was all good. But yeah, Paddy Hopkirk would be because from just having like the miniature conversations that I had at Bewley with him, it's just amazing what he's done with his life. So just to
Very true.
So
Him.
much.
hear more of it would be awesome.
Very true. Very true. Well, Anthony, I appreciate you being on, man. Everyone go check his Instagram out, see his project, hopefully unfold over the next year. Anything
that
else
or
you
if
want
you're-
the people to know?
Well, you can follow. You're more than welcome to follow. A lot of my Instagram is obviously my cars. Mine's also gym progression, and because I've been on a journey for the past year and a half now, trying to build muscle from scratch, basically. That sounds like scratch.
good
but
on
yeah.
you. Good on you.
Good on you. Yep. Good.
I
on
want to
ya.
be. I want to be one of them big guys when you rock up to a mini show. You know what I mean?
There you go.
But-
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But no, I think other than that, guys, honestly, getting a mini is probably like one of the best things you ever do with your life. Honest. They say you haven't lived unless you've had or driven a mini.
Agreed.
So
I think you can
Yeah.
end on that one. You haven't lived unless you've had or driven a mini. So
here we go.
I appreciate
Amen.
you guys. Go follow Anthony. Check us out, minilife.37. You can follow me at GoldToothCray and Sean at Scrapyard. And I will catch you guys on the next one.
I need another beer. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh,